Hi, this is Joe from Performance Food Centers, here to help you get set up for online ordering and curbside pickup using the Square app. Square app is going to make this nice and easy. So to get started, you'll just have to go to squareup.com to set up an account. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes, just entering some basic business information in there, and you should be good to rock and roll. Once you've got that, we need to get in and set up our items. So all of our menu options and our add-ins and such. Our goal is to create something that looks like this for our customers to go in and choose the shake that they want, along with the add-ins that they want to add for their shake, if they want to sub out for plant protein, all of those sorts of options, making our world nice and easy, and they're able to set up for online ordering and pickup automatically. So again, to get started, go in, get your account set up. If you need to pause, go ahead and do that now. All right, now that we are all set with our account, you should have a dashboard that looks kind of like this. You might have had a list of questions like this one here. We can set up our online store. We can do that now, or we can do that after we're done. But I want to get in and get our products set up so that we have something to offer on our online store. So let's go to that Square dashboard. If you need to, you can go to squareup.com/dashboard to get there. Once we're there, we can start adding our items. And so there's a few things we need to do in here to help get things set up so we're ready to go. So if we click on items, it should come up with a page that looks like this with a couple of suggestions as far as products to offer. We at Performance Food Centers have set up our Platinum menu package, which should have most if not all of the shakes that you offer as an import available in our email, and there'll be a link provided below to get to the Excel document for it. So when you're in here, you've got your names, the descriptions, and as we scroll over, we see that it's part of a series of modifier sets. Those modifier sets are what allow us to get these options, right? So what allows us to set things that our customers can add to our shakes. So we want to get those in and set up prior to actually setting up our document. Now, we need to make sure that when we set up our modifier sets, that we set them up exactly the same as I have in this import that we've got here. So in order to do that and keep us nice and accurate, we've got another Excel doc. So you'll see two Excel docs when you're trying to set this up. The first one is the import, and the second one is the modifier set list. And you'll see you've got tabs down at the bottom here. These are going to help us make sure that we get everything set with our appropriate pricing. Now, your pricing may be different from what's on this. Feel free to adjust as your market requires, but you should be able to follow through with this pretty easily. If you find that you don't need one of these, set it up anyway for now. It's going to help make your import process a little bit easier. And then you can always go in and edit, add, subtract from your overall listings. But for your modifier sets, so these choice of liquids and such, we want to make sure that they get set up on the front end. With our shake offerings, some may have different menu options, different groupings, or different titles for our shakes. So you can feel free to edit this to more closely match what's on your menu. So you can change your titles if you need to change your descriptions, the categories. I've got it set to offer 20 ounce and 16 ounce shakes. If you don't offer 16 ounce at your location, go ahead and just take those out of the mix. The pricing, again, feel free to adjust that as appropriate for your listings. Okay. Then we get into our modifier sets. Again, we want to make sure that these are going to match with what we create in our Square instance. So let's just get into setting that up now. So let's start with choice of liquid. So let's, on our list, I've got my tab for choice of liquid. I can come up here just so that I know that I match and copy that field so that when I come into my modifier, so I'm in that item page of my Square dashboard. So I'm in my browser, I went to items, and I've got my item library and I've got my modifiers. We're gonna set up our modifiers and then add our products so that we can do it all in one big shot. So we're gonna click on where it says modifiers and then click create a modifier set. When we do that, it comes up with this side menu here, which gives us a bunch of options for us to use here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna paste in my option there, my value from the top of that list so that I know that I've got it correct. And for this one, because it's choice of liquid, we wanna make sure that our customer doesn't try to say they want skim and almond milk at the same time. So I'm gonna check the box that says customer can only select one. After that, I can go in and set my different modifiers. So I'm gonna go with almond milk, or let's go unsweetened almond milk. And because it's part of our roll up on our price, unless you have an upcharge for some of your other milks, if you offer oat milk or something else, and you need to add an upcharge for that, that's fine as well. So I'm gonna go with almond milk and skim milk. If you've got other options, feel free to add them now. The most important part is making sure that our title for our modifier set is the same as what's in our import. So once I've got that set, I can go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to go through and do that for the other modifier set. So I've got shapers and builders. So I'm going to come up here, copy this, and I know that I want to have my my title, and I have a price on these because these do cost more money for the shake. So I'm going to set my shapers and builders. I'm actually going to join these together so I can see them next to each other. Sorry. There we go. So now I can see those next to each other while I'm working. Create a modifier set. And I want to make sure, again, that I'm titling the exact same way as in the top of our option here. And we would, of course, love for our customers to buy tons of extra modifiers, right? Add tons of extra add-ins. So we're not going to check the box this time. And I'm going to go with chocolate whey protein. That one's going to be 125. Again, I'm just going to set up the first couple of these so that you can kind of get through that. Right. So if you've got other shapers and builders, if you offer Square Meals or any other builders, you can add them in here. We do have some other options for us to add in as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just handle those. But again, I'm just going to go through. I'm going to click on the tab, copy the option, come over to my modifier set, paste in that value, and come in and set my options. If you don't offer any of these things, let's say you don't offer chia, flax, and hemp seeds, you don't have to add them to your modifier set right now. You just need to make sure that your title is the same so that our import knows what it's looking for. Now that we are done setting up our modifier sets, we're able to go in and start importing our actual menu items into our storefront. So we've gone through, we've made sure that all of our set names match with the headers of our modifier set lists. So let's go ahead over to our import file here just to make sure, again, do a quick once over, make sure that the shakes that are on this list match with the shakes that you have in your offerings. Make any adjustments that you need to make. And of course, you can always add additional shakes or take away shakes once they're imported very easily. This is just going to help you get up and running just a little bit faster. Now that I'm going to go into my item library in my Square dashboard. I was in the modifiers here. So I'm going to go ahead and click item library. And once I'm there, I see that I've got the option to create an item or import items. We're going to want to import items just to make sure that we are able to get these all in very quickly. If you've already got some items set up in there, you can go ahead and the import items is likely on the upper right of your screen. So I'm going to click on import items. I'm going to navigate to my Excel file, this PFC Platinum Square import file, and I'm going to hit open. It's going to run me through a quick dialog here, just making sure that our headers match what we expect them to match, any option values, any of that stuff. But it should be pretty much ready to go. So once you've got that in there and it says confirm up here and that's clickable, if you've got anything in here that doesn't match, just make sure that you remedy that. So once we've got that, we can hit confirm and it's going to say, hey, are you sure you want to do this? It's going to assign it to all the locations unless you specify otherwise. And right now we're just setting up for one location. So I'm going to say continue and overwrite. And there we go. We've got our shakes in here ready to go. I've got my options in here. It has my description and it shows me that I have these modifier sets available for it. Now that we've got our products all set and ready for us to start selling, we're ready to set up our online ordering option here. So I'm just going to hit this X up here in the upper left-hand side. And then I'm going to head back to my dashboard. I believe that we can just go, we can click on this little stack menu here and click on home just so we can see our dashboard. But once we're there, we could also have just clicked on the online store button. So when we click this, now I already clicked it by accident earlier, so it put me a little bit past here, but there are 3 options for setting up your site. You want to go with that first option that is just letting you sell online. You don't need to set up a whole website right now. We just want to get you up and running so that you can get your customers the shakes and nutrition that they need. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go in, and I'm actually going to add my items to sell before I get to the design side of things, because I want to have them there for me to connect with. So if I come over and I click on items, item library, and I select items, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to select all. That way I know that I've got all of my shakes available in here. Now, we don't have images, we don't have the ability to import images, but if you've got image collateral that you like for your shakes, by all means, go ahead and use those. I'm going to go ahead and hit done. So now that I've done that, all of my shakes should be readily available for ordering online. All right. So now if I come back to website and I come back to, I'm just going to come back to the dock here. Go to my online store. Once I'm in my online store, I can come in and design the website, right? So which is just going to be a really basic website, because we just wanted to, if you already have an existing website, you can add this as a link on there. If you don't have a website, you can build this out pretty robustly. So I want to do a few things just to make sure that we've got this stuff set. When I set up my account earlier, I set it up to make sure that I had sell food for food or items for pickup or delivery, sell food items to ship. We're not going to ship any of our stuff right now, but we do want to display our location and hours. So we can go in and make some changes to that stuff. So just have a few things that we want to make sure we've got there. And so I'm going to go to next, and that should allow me to upload a logo. I've got mine sitting here ready to go. You may need to pull one together. That doesn't have to happen straight away, but I would try to make sure that that happens sooner rather than later. And then we've got some style options. We've got modern and classic. I'm going to go ahead with some orange so that it kind of fits with what we've got going on there. All right. So I've worked up my styling a little bit. You can choose whether you want to buy a new custom domain. If you already have one that you want to associate, that's fine too. I'm just going to stick with the use a square subdomain. It's going to use whatever I put in this box here, .square.site. And if I'm linking to it from my website, it's already good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and just say change. Right. So because we're trying to set this up as an ordering website rather than a full-fledged website, I'm actually going to get rid of this this banner that's up at the top because I really just want my customers to see my my shake offering. So I can come over to the left nav where it says main banner there. If I click on that, it's got, didn't mean to click on it all the way. If I hover over, I get this little 3 dot there. That little 3 dot is going to say, give me the option for a drop menu, and I'm going to select hide section. And when I do that, it's not taking that away. I've already started to adjust my my menu offerings to fit, but that standard one that's in there should be a good way for you to get started on your menu offering. So when we click on that featured menu section there, we can go in and add the shakes that we want to add for our section there. So before we do that, I know that I'm working on my refuel and recover section. So if I come into the body of my site here, I can come in and type in refuel and recover, and that's going to change the title of that section there. And then I can come in and define my offerings for that section. So I can do that by clicking in the left nav on that add featured menu item. And I've got my shakes already checked. You may need to click view more to see all of your shakes and how they fall in there. But you can just add your shakes to your different sections. This will make it easier, kind of how your menu boards might be separated already. So I've got this section. It's already got the shakes that I want to sell in that section there. So I hit save. And you can make some other adjustments to things if you want to show the description or not, whether you want to show the prices or not, depending on what your sort of desire is for this ordering portal. Once you've got that, you can go ahead and hit done. And we've got multiple sections that we want to create. So I want to create my lifestyle section. So I can come in to my my existing featured menu items, and because I like the styling of it and I want it to all look the same, I can just duplicate that section and then just adjust the shakes and the title to fit my my menu. So I click on that 3 dot again, and I come down and I click on duplicate. That's going to give me an additional refuel and recover section, right? Which isn't exactly what we want. So I'm going to go in and click on that second section now. So this one right here. And I can come in and I'm going to, for the sake of this, call it duplicate. And I can go in and define my shakes. You'll set yours as lifestyle shakes or meal replacement or whatever you want to call your different categories. And I can uncheck the shakes that I don't want in there and recheck any shakes that I do. So I just want this to be all veggie type shakes. So I'm going to add my pumpkin patch, tender greens, and squashed veggies. That should be enough. And I hit save. And now that section I can call it whatever I want and add additional shakes as I see fit. So you'll do that for your other sections. We've got our lifestyle, refuel and detox, meal replacement. You can also sell full-size swig products, so your proteins and your get products. You can also sell, if you have bars or snacks, you can sell those as well. Just add those products to your Square inventory and add them to your site for ordering. Once we've got all of our different sections set up, and I'm going to get rid of this one, we're almost there. We're almost ready for takeoff on this. So I'm going to hit publish on this, which is going to push our site to be live. So if I click publish, I'm going to say site's published. Awesome. Again, it's going to ask you about your domains. If you've already set things before, don't worry about it. You can do that when it works for you. And then I want to come back to my my main area for my website here. So if I hit that X up in the upper left of the site here, I get back to my dashboard. And there's a few more things we want to set up before we wrap things up. One of those things is our curbside pickup. Big thing that we all need right now is a way for our customers to get their stuff in a safe and an effective way. So we can go and click on, if we scroll down a little bit, we have these helpful or help for businesses stuff here, these recommendations. You can click on that little card there for enable curbside pickup, or it is also available on the left nav under pickup and delivery. So when we come in here, we've got our location. Mine is at my Swig location. I have the radio button checked for accept pickup orders, but I want to go in and edit this location because this location is going to allow me to define my times, my order prep time, as well as curbside pickup, scheduled pickup, and my pickup instructions. So if I hit edit on there, I can check the box for scheduled pickup. And I need to go in and set my phone number here so that I can set up curbside as well. And if you want to give instructions on how customers can or should operate when they get to your location, you can give instructions on what your customers should do when they get to your location. So I'm going to hit save on that, and I'm going to edit my address and add my phone number here. Hit save. So now I can come in and turn on my curbside pickup. That way, your customers can reach out to you and get their orders automatically and safely. You may also want to change your order prep time. An hour may be a little bit too long for your order prep. You may want 15 minutes. That allows you to actually produce it before your customer arrives for their order. You can also sort of help with social distancing by spacing out your pickup or delivery orders. So you can check this box here, and it's going to ask you how many orders and pickups would be available every 15 minutes. If you find that you're sort of getting a lot of people trying to pick up at the same time, this can help manage that as well. So once we hit save, we can go to our site, which I know mine is swig.square.site. And we can see what our front end looks like. We've got our refuel and recover, lifestyle shakes, all of that stuff. I've even got my information down here and how to find me. And we can add shakes to our cart. Because when we click on that shake, we can select our option. We like 20 ounce. I want to have extra fruit in there and some extra vanilla protein. I add that to my cart. They can request curbside pickup and define how they will recognize you and do your checkout. It's just that easy. You can be up and running with a Square site for online ordering and curbside pickup really, really quickly. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more helpful tips for online ordering and curbside pickup.